Alright, let's talk for a second. If you're on YouTube or run a YouTube channel or even any social media platforms, you have probably been overwhelmed by all the advice floating around, right? Like post every day, follow trends, be yourself. Honestly, it's a lot and not all of it is helpful. So today I want to break it down for you. 5 easy ways to actually make YouTube work, and hopefully this will help you grow and, more importantly, stay sane while doing it. The first one is do not listen to any unsolicited advice. You've heard it before. You should do this, or why aren't you doing that? It's everywhere, in the comments, from your friends, from your family. But the truth is, most unsolicited advice comes from people who don't actually understand your niche, your goals, your aim, or your strategy. For example, your coworker might say, just do prank videos, they go viral. But if your channel is about personal finance, that advice is useless, am I right? And worse, taking advice that doesn't align with your goals can steer you completely off course. But probably the biggest problem with this unsolicited advice is that it makes you think and have doubts on whether you are doing this correctly. Perhaps they are right and maybe you are wrong. This sort of noise can cloud your judgment, and 99% of the time, if you listen to it, you will end up pushing yourself back a few steps because these people who gave you advice, they don't come back to your channel. So what's the best way to handle this? Be selective about whose advice you take. Only listen to people who are either experienced creators or part of your target audience. If the person giving feedback isn't one of those, thank them politely and move on fast. You know your vision better than anyone else, so trust yourself. The second one is knowing which audience matters the most. Here's the thing, not all viewers are created equal. Getting 1 million views means nothing if those viewers don't care about your content or your niche. Let's say you have a fitness channel. Do you want people who are casually scrolling for workout memes? Or do you want viewers who are genuinely interested in fitness tips and might eventually buy your workout program or coaching services? You have to focus on attracting the right audience, the people who stick around, engage, and maybe even invest in your brand. One quick tip I can give is study your analytics. Pay attention to metrics like average view duration and comments. If people are watching your videos all the way through and asking questions, that's your audience. If you have repeated commenters who absolutely love your content, that's your audience. If you have viewers who show appreciation for your content time after time, that's your audience. Cater to them, not to random viral trends. It's better to have 1,000 loyal viewers than 10,000 passive ones who never return. The third one is to understand what your goal is, then work backwards. This one's big. Before you even press record, ask yourself, why am I doing this? Is it to grow a following and build a business? Or maybe just share your passion? Whatever your goal is, everything you do on YouTube should align with that. I find this to be the biggest blocker for many creators. Every creator starts off knowing why they are doing this, but as they start to create and create and create with not much traction, they start doubting themselves. And before you know it, they start listening to unsolicited advice and from people who aren't their target audience, then they create content that doesn't align with their goals. Extremely dangerous if you ask me, and it is easy to get sidetracked, and if that happens, it makes your journey difficult. It is a classic example of starting something simple that got turned into a big mess thanks to overcomplicating things. But it doesn't have to be that way. For example, if your goal is to make money, figure out where that money is going to come from. Is it through AdSense? Is it through brand deals? Or is it through selling your own products or services? Once you know that, work backwards. If you're aiming for AdSense, you need high views and long watch time. So focus on creating binge-worthy content. If you're selling products, make videos that address your audience's pain points and lead them to your sales page. When you have a clear goal, it becomes so much easier to make decisions about your channel. So stop wasting your time on random ideas that don't serve your purpose and start focusing on strategies that actually move the needle. The fourth one is audio first, video second. I can't stress this enough. Bad audio will ruin a video faster than bad visuals. People will forgive grainy footage, but they won't stick around if your audio is hard to hear, it isn't clear, or just plain annoying. But the good news is fixing your audio is easy and doesn't have to be expensive. The easiest way is to invest in a decent microphone, something like a lavalier microphone, the ones you can pin onto your shirt, or even a budget shotgun microphone will do wonders. You don't have to get the branded ones, even the lesser known brands are good enough. Apart from that, always check your environment, film in a quiet space, minimize echo where possible, and test your audio before you start recording. You will be amazed how many people did not test it and ended up with garbage audio after an hour of recording. Once you have nailed your audio, then you can think about upgrading your visuals. But honestly, even if your setup isn't the fanciest, good audio alone can keep people watching. And in a platform where retention is everything, that's a huge win. One more thing I wanted to add is these days, fancy backgrounds with RGB lights and all, they're starting to feel dated as well. People these days prefer a real room, like it is being recorded at home where things are very messy. They don't want to see a studio, probably because it doesn't feel authentic. I don't know, but I did notice a few videos I watched gaining traction even with absolutely messy backgrounds. Keep an eye out and let me know if you spot such channels. The last one is driving viewers out of YouTube and into a sales funnel or email listing. Here's something not many creators talk about. YouTube is great, but it's not the final destination. If you really want to make a YouTube work, you need to think about what happens after someone watches your video. The goal is to move your audience off YouTube and into a space you control, like an email list or a sales funnel. Why? Because platforms change, algorithms change. But if you have a direct way to communicate with your audience, you are protected from all of that and you essentially become the algorithm. What you can do is start small. At the end of your videos, offer something valuable like a free guide, checklist, or exclusive content and ask viewers to sign up for your email list to get it. Or maybe you can ask midway through your video if you think your viewers won't watch all the way till the end. Another thing you can do is pin a comment in your video so that it remains at the top of all comments. Once they're on your list, you can nurture that relationship and eventually pitch your products and services. I don't have much advice to give in this space, unfortunately, because I have yet to set up a proper system for myself, even though I'm slowly building up my email listing. But I do know this step is crucial if you want to turn your channel into something sustainable. Because you're not just building an audience, you're building a community and a business, and you do not want to leave your fate to YouTube. They will make it hard for you and they can potentially turn your channel upside down even with the slightest tweak in the algorithm. So there you have it, 5 easy ways to make YouTube work for you. And honestly, none of these are complicated. They just require focus, intention, and a little bit of strategy. Remember, YouTube isn't just about uploading videos. It's about building something bigger, whether that's a brand, a business, or just a platform to share your voice. So take these tips, apply them to your channel, and watch what happens. And of course, let me know if it helps. I hope you found this useful. That's it from me, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.